Making headlines, the Maldives strongly support efforts to uphold the ceasefire agreement in Gaza. The government approves a framework for transformative digital overhaul aimed at boosting the information and communication technology sector. And First Lady emphasizes the importance of language, tradition, culture, heritage, and art in fostering happiness within a country.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Hafiz Abdul Sattar. And now the news in detail. The Maldives strongly support efforts to uphold the ceasefire agreement in Gaza and urged all parties to ensure its full implementation. In a statement, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs welcomed the outcomes of the Arab Six-Party consultative meeting held in Cairo, Egypt on 1st February 2025. The Maldives reiterated its strong support to maintain the ceasefire agreement and urged all parties to ensure its full and effective implementation. The Maldives further urged immediate action to ensure that humanitarian assistance reaches all affected areas in Gaza without delay and that immediate measures are undertaken to facilitate the smooth and unhindered entry of aid for relief, shelter and recovery. The Maldives also welcomed the initiative to host an international conference for the reconstruction of Gaza and urged the international community to take concrete steps toward implementing the two-state solution based on pre-1967 borders with East Jerusalem as the capital of an independent and sovereign state of Palestine. Under the leadership of President Dr. Mohamed Muiz, the Maldives government has approved a framework for a transformative digital overhaul aimed at boosting the information and communication technologies, ICT sector and driving national productivity. Key initiatives include introducing modern legislation to enhance governance, creating an interoperable data sharing platform between government agencies and developing central platforms for citizen services and e-government. Additionally, a national sovereign cloud and secure electronic identification system will be established. The government also plans to foster a digitally skilled workforce, integrate advanced tech into school curricula, and prioritize a local Maldivian talent in ICT procurement. An innovation hub will be set up to promote technology research and solutions. These initiatives aim to accelerate the country's digital transformation and economic development. First Lady, Madam Sajida Muhammad emphasizes the importance of language, tradition, culture, heritage and art in fostering happiness within a country at the launch of the Happiness Index, an initiative by the Ministry of Cities, Local Government and Public Works to measure the well-being of Maldivians. This project, initiated by President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's administration, aims to assess national happiness based on internationally recognized standards. Madam Tajida highlighted that happiness encompasses financial prosperity, mental peace, spiritual enrichment, physical well-being and social comfort, all of which contribute to a fulfilled life. She also noted that happiness is inherent to every person and that even in adversity, people have a natural capacity to return to happiness. The First Lady unveiled the official logo for the Happiness Index, and the Islamic University of Maldives IUM was appointed as the research partner. The launch event featured contributions from various community members, including seniors, students and youth, as well as a special song dedicated to the initiative. This marks the first effort to formally measure the nation's happiness and well-being. Maldives Ports Limited MPL's CEO Mohamed Wajih Ibrahim has been dismissed from his position. The Privatization and Corporatization Board, PCB, the governing body overseeing state-owned companies, confirmed Waji's removal, stating that he had been dismissed both as managing director and as a member of the company's board. Waji was appointed as MPL's CEO in November 2023. Before this, he held senior positions at MPL from 2013 to 2022. The Maldives Stock Exchange MSE launches its first ever online automated trading system for listed securities. The online automated trading system was officially launched to the public in January to coincide with the MSE's 17th anniversary. The newly introduced automated trading system will enable companies registered in the securities market that act as brokers to send investor orders live on the stock exchange. A broker back-office web application known as the Order Management System (OMS) has also been integrated into the platform to facilitate the instant transmission of orders to the trading board. Speaking to PSM News, MSE's CEO Aushin Latif stated that the automated trading system is designed to facilitate investors to trade easily. He explained that he dedicated portal for retail investors, Infinity's Trade Connect, will provide investors with easy access to the latest market information, price fluctuations, and order book details. He added that this will increase market transparency and enable investors to make informed decisions. Aushin further explained that the automated trading system introduced by the company uses state-of-the-art technology to enable brokers to seamlessly use their own service applications with the system. He noted that the platform will help brokers to expand their services in the market in the future. Cryptocurrency prices slid with Bitcoin at a 3-week low as the specter of a global trade war put investors on edge and pushed them out of risky assets.
Bitcoin, the world's biggest and best-known crypto, fell to $94,476.18 on Monday morning in Asia, touching a 3-week low of around $91,441.89.
This is a new golden age for Bitcoin. And I think when you look at what's happening in the Beltway under Trump, you're going to have a deregulatory environment, which is a huge positive. And also, this is part of a risk-on environment that we're seeing not just for tech stocks, but for Bitcoin still in the early days of playing out.
Over the weekend, U.S. President Donald Trump imposed 25% tariffs on Mexican and most 10% on goods from China starting on February 4th. Canada and Mexico, the top two U.S. trading partners, immediately vowed retaliatory measures, and China said it would challenge Trump's levies at the World Trade Organization. Cryptocurrencies trade around the clock, including on weekends, and have lately been sensitive to markets' broader sentiment. Investors worry that tariffs can hurt growth and company earnings, as well as be inflationary.
Asian stock markets slump as U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs trigger fears of a broad trade.
Asian stock markets slumped on Monday after U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs on Canada, Mexico and China triggered fears of a broad trade war and hit global growth. Hong Kong's benchmark Hang Seng Index opened down 2% at 19,816 points at 9:47 a.m. China's mainland markets remained shut until Wednesday for Lunar New Year holidays. Japan's Nikkei share average slipped 1.6% to 38,932.66 points, right after stock markets opened in the morning. In South Korea, the benchmark Korea Composite Stock Price Index tumbled 3% to 2,441.94 points.
U.S. President Donald Trump expresses that no troops would be necessary in Panama, but reiterated threats to take control of the Panama Canal and claims that it is being operated by Beijing.
Speaking to reporters on the tarmac of Joint Base Andrews, Trump reiterated his belief that China is running the Panama Canal, adding that the channel was not given to China but to Panama. He went on to say that Panama has violated the agreement, leading to his decision to take back the canal.
I don't think troops will be necessary in Panama. What Panama has done is terrible for national security for this part of the world. And, 70% of the signage on the Panama Canal was written in Chinese. That's not right. So it wasn't meant for China. It should have never been made. The deal was a ridiculous deal. We lost 38,000 people building the Panama Canal, one of the great wonders of the world. 38, think of it, 38. It was the most expensive project ever built by this country, if you take it forward. The most expensive project ever built. We lost 38,000. And what happens? China owns it all of a sudden? It's not going to happen. We're not going to let that happen. We have national security concerns, and they wouldn't let it happen either.
The comments came as U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Sunday warned Panama's President Jose Raul Mulino that Washington will take measures necessary if Panama does not immediately take steps to end what President Donald Trump sees as China's influence and control of the Panama Canal. Mulino, after the talks with the top U.S. diplomat in Panama City, signaled he would review agreements involving China and Chinese businesses and announced further cooperation with the U.S. on migration, but reiterated that his country's sovereignty over the world's second busiest waterway is not up for discussion.
U.S. President Donald Trump, without citing evidence, says that certain classes of people in South Africa were being treated very badly and that he would cut off funding for the country until the matter is investigated.
Trump took to social media to express concerns about South Africa's actions, stating that the country is confiscating land and treating certain groups of people very poorly. He later spoke to reporters at Joint Andrews Base, saying the situation is being investigated.
Terrible things are happening in South Africa. The leadership is doing some terrible things, horrible things. So that's under investigation right now. We'll make a determination. And until such time as we find out what South Africa is doing, they're taking away land, they're confiscating land, and actually they're doing things that are perhaps far worse than that.
It remains unclear what prompted Trump's post. The South African embassy in Washington, D.C. did not respond to a request for comment outside of regular business hours. According to the most recent U.S. government data from 2023, the United States was obligated to provide nearly $440 million in assistance to South Africa.
The Israeli military blew up several buildings in the occupied West Bank on Sunday in a series of simultaneous explosions that had leveled around 20 buildings in the Jenin refugee camp.
Thick clouds were seen rising from the Palestinian city where Israeli forces have been conducting a massive operation for nearly 2 weeks that the Israeli ministry says is targeted at local militants, including seizing weapons stockpiles. Asked about the simultaneous demolition of buildings in Jenin, a spokesperson for the military said several structures used as terrorist infrastructure had been dismantled. Jenin Government Hospital Director Wissam Bakar told the Palestinian State News Agency that part of the hospital was damaged in the explosions, but that there had been no casualties. Jenin is a crowded township built of descendants of Palestinians who were driven out or fled their homes in the 1948 war when the State of Israel was established. The refugee camp there has been a center of military activity for decades and the target of repeated raids by Israeli security forces. Israeli forces, backed by helicopters and armored bulldozers, began the assault on the city on January 21st, 2 days after Israel reached a ceasefire in Gaza with militant group Hamas. Hamas on Sunday called for an escalation in the resistance against Israel following the demolition of buildings in Jenin. The Palestinian Authority, a Hamas rival, exercises limited governance over the West Bank, where around 3 million Palestinians live, and over which Israel maintains overall military control. Israeli forces have engaged in gun battles with local militants since the operation began. Defense Minister Israel Katz on Wednesday said security forces would stay until the operation is complete, without saying when that would be. According to Palestinian authorities, at least 25 Palestinians have been killed since the Israeli military operation began, including 9 members of armed groups. The Israeli military says it has killed at least 35 militants and detained over 100 wanted individuals. Dozens of homes and roads have been destroyed by Israeli forces in the latest campaign.
Boca Juniors claimed their first win at the Argentine Primera Division Apertura season with a 2-1 victory over Hurricane at home on Sunday.
Boca Juniors secured their first win of the Argentina Primera Division's Apertura season with a 2-1 home victory over Hurricane on Sunday, thanks to a Carlos Palacios strike. Coming off draws against Argentinos Juniors and Union, Boca put in a strong first-half performance, with Edinson Cavani opening the scoring in the 19th minute with a free kick from the center of the box. However, the visitors leveled on the half-hour mark when Marco Pellegrino's header found the back of the net, only for it to be awarded after a VAR review for alleged obstruction. In the second half, the hosts pushed to regain the lead, and it was Miguel who broke through to set up Palacios for the winner on 68th minute.
Arsenal delivers a statement of intent in the Premier League title race with a 5-1 hammering of champions Manchester City to close the gap at the top of 6 points on Sunday.
Captain Martin Odegaard fired Arsenal into a second-minute lead, and City were finished off ruthlessly after the break with teenagers Miles Lewis-Kelly and Ethan Nwaneri both on target for the rampant Gunners. Erling Haaland's 55th minute equalizer, his 250th senior career goal, had briefly raised City's hopes, but they could have no complaints as any lingering chance of winning a 5th successive title surely disappeared in the North London night.
We can learn, and always there are a margin to get better. So, of course, it's difficult, you know, when you lose 5-1, it's not defense, it's my feeling. I'm here expressing, but the game was well played. So Arsenal here is a amount of games. I know how many teams defend deep all the time during 90 minutes. And we were there, we dropped them a lot, and we have the composure to play. But yeah, it's difficult the second, but I think the third one, you know, it affect us, and we stopped to do what we have done during 60 minutes.
Arsenal are now 14 games unbeaten in the league and have 50 points from 24 games, with leaders Liverpool on 56 from 23.
Yeah, to beat them in the manner that we've done, a lot of things have to go your way. You know, we were very aggressive. We play with a lot of courage. We done without the ball, and our high press, where the limits are really, really thin. They scored a goal, should have scored another one. Clearly, and after one, even if you want it, they are that good that sometimes you just have to stay deep and defend deep and suffer and enjoy those moments as well. And we had a bit of luck in certain moments, and then we had the opportunity. I think we were, you know, our intentions, our aggression with the ball, how we wanted to hurt them, and the way we finished the actions, exceptional.
Manchester City are a distant fourth with 41 points.
A digital video mapping projection captivated audiences at Barcelona's Casa Batlló.
Italian artist Coiolo presented Arborescent, a digital tribute to nature's growth, blending technology with natural forms in an immersive experience that transformed the facade of architect Antoni Gaudi's iconic building into dynamic canvas. The experience was complemented by an original soundtrack composed by the artist himself.
This work is called Arborescent. It's really a celebration of how nature can be an infinite source of creative inspiration. And so it goes back to how Gaudí was inspired by nature, and somehow I've been trying to do a similar process by using very different technological apparatuses.
Coiolo used algorithm-driven light patterns that depicted various tree species growing and interacting with their environment. Casa Batlló's CEO Gary Gautier praised Coiolo's work for merging classical and modern elements, fitting with the building's intricate design, and said the goal is to bring art to everyone.
Well, the purpose of Casa Batlló is to make people happy through art. This initiative has the purpose of inviting all our citizens and visitors to embrace creativity and innovation as Gaudí had when he built this magnificent and iconic place.
The projection was part of the Heritage of Tomorrow program, an initiative that has invited interdisciplinary artists to reinterpret Gaudí's legacy since 2021. Hundreds of onlookers gathered in front of the building, refurbished by Gaudí in 1906, to enjoy the 12-minute show.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant time ahead.